Hi, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. In this video, we're going to be starting our playthrough of BattleCON, Devastation of Indies. And I'm being joined once again by my friend Matt Evans from Board Game Replay. Hey Matt, how you doing?
Doing good, Rodney. Thanks for having me.
Listen, it's my pleasure. And I want to let you know, just to be clear, there's no truth to the idea that the only reason you're back is because the last time you were on, you beat me at the game we played.
Okay, that's good to know.
No, this is going to be just a friendly match. Hopefully people can see how the game works. But let's start by telling everyone what characters we're using. Why don't you go first?
Okay, sure. I'm going to be playing as Eligor, which you may remember from the How to Play series on this. And Eligor is going to start the game with these 2 Vengeance tokens. And throughout the game, whenever he takes damage, he's going to gain an additional Vengeance token for each point of damage that he takes. Now, he's going to be able to ante these at the beginning of the round. And for each one that is anteed, he's going to get a stun guard of 2. And if I ever ante all 5 of them, he's going to gain stun immunity.
That's wild. So basically, as I'm hitting you, I'm powering you up.
Correct.
Oh, that's nice to know. Okay, well listen, I'm going to be using Marmalie. She has concentration counters. I start with 2 of them. I can't ante these tokens, but they will help power some of her different card effects. At the end of every recycle step, I'll gain a new concentration counter, but if I ever take damage, if I'm stunned, I should say, then I will lose all of my concentration counters. So they're great to have, but they're easy to lose, which isn't so hot. All right, well, both Matt and I have pre-selected our attack pairs, so we're ready to get started. Now, one thing that's interesting to note is that only one of us has tokens that can be anteed here. So there's no point in us having a separate step to talk about that. When Matt selects his attack pair, he'll just announce how many of those tokens he wants to ante up. Sound good, Matt?
Sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Well, listen, I'm ready to reveal my attack pair. Are you anteing any tokens?
I'm going to ante 1 token.
Okay, well, let's reveal. I am playing Sorceress Drive. What about you?
I'm playing Chain Shot. Okay, so first we're going to look for any unrevealed effects, and there aren't any here. But it does look like Rodney has priority, and so I really thought you were going to run away from me.
I did think about it, but I decided in the end I would surprise you and charge in an attack. And that's really one of the first effects I have to activate here, because there's no start of beat effects, but I do have some before activating ones. And one of them says I can advance 1 or 2 spaces. I will advance 1 space.
Okay.
The other one says that I can spend a concentration counter to give this attack a plus 0 to 2 range, which is necessary because right now my range is 1. So I'm going to spend a concentration counter. So that means my range is now 1 to 3, which means I can hit you. You are within range and my power is 3. So I'm looking at doing 3 damage to you. Is there anything you can do to stop that? I don't think you have any soak here, do you?
Nope. It's going to hit me for 3.
Oh, excellent. Okay, well, I'm going to adjust your life counter right now. Put that down
I'm going to gain these 3 Vengeance tokens, too.
That's right. So your life points are at 17, but you're powered up again, which isn't so great. Well, yeah, that's it for me. So it's over to you now. What are you going to activate here?
All right, well, before activating, I could have discarded any Vengeance tokens from my pool to pull you closer, but, because again, I thought you were going to run away, but I can just smash it with my shot here. So I'm going to hit you. I got a range of 1 to 4, so I'm going to hit you. I have a power of 3, so I'm going to do 3 damage to you.
Okay, a little tit for tat. All right, I'm going to reduce my life points here as well down to 17. Now, that would typically stun me, meaning I couldn't hit back, but I've already hit this turn. There is one other bad effect, though, right?
Yes, it does still stun you, technically.
So I lose that remaining concentration counter, which is kind of a bummer. I don't like that so much. All right, well, listen, I do have an end of beat effect here. It says that I may spend a concentration counter to move 1 space, but I don't have any of those concentration counters, so I'll ignore that. I guess it's time to recycle here, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to recycle my cards out, gaining a couple of my cards back. And you'll notice here, folks, I put the timer right on top of the stack here that Matt had, and that's just a reminder to me. So I remember to advance the beat. It also tells us who had priority. Now, at the start of the game, just because he was the guest, I made him the first player. But now, because I had highest priority, I become the first player for the next round. And the timer has been reduced to beat 14. All right, I guess it's time for us to pick our attack pairs, Matt. Let's plan on doing that, and then we'll come back and see what happens.
All right.
Now, Matt, just before we get started, I need to ask for some forgiveness here. I forgot to give myself a concentration counter during the last recycle step. So I'm just going to do that now, if that's okay.
Yeah, you're going to need those, so you probably want to do that.
Okay, so that was a sympathy token I'm getting there. All right, fair enough. Listen, I'm ready to reveal my attack pair. But before I do, are you anteing any tokens?
Yeah, I'm going to reveal anti 2 vengeance tokens, excuse me.
Okay, so 2 vengeance tokens have been removed from your pool. I am playing Magnificent Strike. What about you?
I'm going to play Martial Drive, and this is interesting because our priorities are now the same with that, and there's going to be a clash.
That's right. Okay, so we're both going to have to pick new bases, so let's just do that right now. I am revealing Burst.
And I'm revealing Burst as well.
Okay, well, does that mean... No, I think our priorities are going to be different, aren't they?
Yes,
I have 1. What's your priority?
0.
Okay, excellent. Well, I have a start of beat effect here, and it says that I have to retreat 1 or 2 spaces. Looking at what you're playing here, I think I'm going to retreat just 1 space. What about you?
Yeah, I have the same thing, so I'm going to retreat 1 space.
All right, and Matt couldn't retreat any further even if he wanted to because he's at the end of the board here, don't forget. All right, well, I guess it's just time to see if I hit you or not, and it looks like I do because my range right now is 3 to 5. So counting this out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're just within range. I also have the ability to, on hit, spend a concentration counter for +1 power each for each token I spend. I only have 1 to spend, lucky for you, and so that means my total power is going to be 3 minus 1 plus 1, so 3. I don't think there's anything you can do about this, is there?
Nope, that's going to hit me for 3.
Okay.
And thankfully, I anteed those stun guard tokens, or the vengeance tokens, so I've got a stun guard of 4, so I don't get stunned, but I do gain, so I take 3 damage, but I'm going to gain 3 vengeance tokens as well.
That's right. Wow, a total of 5 vengeance tokens in your pool. Okay. Well, I don't think there's anything else here. Oh, well, look, after activating, I could spend 2 concentration counters if I had them to move directly to an unoccupied space. I don't have those tokens to spend, so I'm done here. What about you?
Well, since I moved back a space and I went out of range of you, it doesn't really matter that I wasn't stunned because I can't really do anything. But before activating, I gained some additional power because I've been hit this turn because of my martial here, but it's not going to do anything because I'm not in range to hit you. So I'm all done.
Thank goodness, because look, your power would have been all the way up to, whoa, it would have been up to 5, 6?
It's 6, actually, yeah, 6. And actually, no, 8 because of the 2 additional tokens. I've got 5 in the pool now.
That's right. Boy, that was fortunate for me. Okay, well, listen, it's time to recycle. And this is interesting because the original strike that I played is going to go back into my hand. Only the burst that ended up resolving that base is going to be the one that I recycle. So I'll just push these along here, take some new cards into my hand. I'll do the same for you, putting your drive back, cycling these through. And because I had the highest priority, I'm going to keep the little timer with me, but I will reduce us down to beat 13. All right, well, it looks like it's time for us to... Oh, you know what? I'm not going to forget this time. I'm going to collect myself a concentration token. Were you preparing?
Can't forget that.
You were preparing to remind me, weren't you?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, good. All right, let's pick our next attack pairs and see what happens. Now, Matt, I know this turn I was pretty quick with my attack pair, and you were pondering for a little while there. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, you sound like you're not sure about that.
Well,
okay, but look, why don't you tell us how many tokens you're going to ante, if any?
I'm going to ante 2.
Oh, okay, so it sounds like you might be planning for a big hit, or you've got something planned yourself. I'm ready to reveal. My attack pair is Nullifying Meditation.
Okay, and I'm going to reveal Retribution Strike. So you did not do what I had hoped you were going to do.
Matt, I'm not even sure what I did here. It's called Nullifying Meditation. What does that even mean? Did I just bore you to death with my move? I don't know. Well, let's see how this resolves. My priority is 4, which I think is, yeah, that's higher than your priority. You have a priority of 2, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I have some starter beat effects here. One of them I'm going to ignore. It involves spending counters, and I don't want to do that. The other one, though, lets me retreat 1 space, and I do want to do this, so I'm going to move back 1 space. You don't have any start of beat effects, so I guess I can just jump right into my my attack here, which is going to fizzle because my range is a total of 2. You're clearly out of range.
Yep.
But that's okay. I didn't want to beat you up anymore this turn, Matt. I'm just going to go easy on you here. Now, what about you?
We'll see. My turn. I was really hoping you were going to hit me so I could use some retribution here. But it's not going to do anything for me. I do have 4 Soak and 4 Stun Guard this turn because of the tokens I've played and my retribution card. But yeah, I was hoping you'd hit me so I could slide up right next to you and smack you back, but didn't happen.
Well, I did play kind of aggressively in that first turn. Marmalie is kind of a sit back and wait character, so I don't know. I felt like maybe it was time for me to just take it down a notch before I started hitting again. So, well, let's see here. We don't have any end of beat effects. Actually, no, sorry, I do have an end of beat effect. That's one of the reasons why I played this card here, Meditation. It allows me to gain a concentration counter, so I want to add that to my pool. But now I think we can just recycle, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll do that. I'm going to recycle my cards. I'm going to advance the timer, or rather reduce the timer down to beat 12. Take a couple new cards into my hand. That's the best part about recycling, right? You get some new options. And I'm going to give myself another concentration counter, so I'm starting to load up here as well. Well, I think it's time for us to pick some new attack pairs, so let's do that.
Okay, well that took both of us a pretty long time to figure this out. Clearly these aren't our favorite cards that are in our hand at the moment. I am not going to ante any tokens this turn, so Rodney, what'd you play?
I played Barrier Strike. What about you?
Okay, and I played Counter Drive, which is, once again, it looks like going to give us a clash.
You're right, it is. Okay, well, why don't we just take a second here then and pick our next bases. All right, I've picked my new base. I don't think this is going to be a surprise to anyone. I'm going the safe route, because now I know if I play the same base as Matt, he's going to be able to stun me. So I'm just going to play Drive, because I know you've already played your Drive. So what are you picking?
It's a safe bet. I'm going to play Grasp.
Oh, wait a second. I think we're tied for priority again here, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yep, okay. That's another 4.
Another clash, so let's each pick a new base. I am playing Grasp.
All right, and I'm going to play my Aegis base.
Okay, this time I think our priorities are different. I have a priority of 5. What's yours?
It's -1.
Oh, okay. Well, definitely I'm going first then. I have a start of beat effect, but I don't want to use it. Do you have any start of beat effects that you want to use?
I do, but I was hoping you'd play the same base in order to trigger it, so no, I don't have any.
Well, that's too bad. Sorry I couldn't accommodate there. Well, before activating, I have an effect that I can use if I want. I don't want to. So basically my range right now, my combined range, is 1 to 2. So you're well out of my range. I can't hit you. I don't get to use my on-hit effect. That's it for me. What about you?
Pretty much about the same. So I don't have anything going on. And before activating, I could advance an additional space if I had taken damage during the beat, but that didn't happen. So my turn's pretty much over. Okay,
well, a lot of work there for nothing. So let's recycle these cards we did end up using.
All right.
The cards that you don't use, the ones that get replaced during clashes, just go back to your hand. I did have priority once again, so that means I'll advance the time to the 11th beat. Let's pick some new attack pairs.
All right.
I know everyone was screaming at their screens. I've got the concentration counter again at the end of the recycle step. Sorry about that, Matt. Okay,
sorry.
Well, I've got my pair ready. It is, well, first of all, are you anteing any tokens?
I am not.
Okay. I've got Sorcerer's Strike. What about you?
All right, I've got Chained Burst.
Chained Burst. Okay, so what is this going to do for our priority, Matt?
Well, I've got 0, so you're going to win it with 2 priority.
Okay. This isn't going to work out great for me. I could spend a concentration counter to give my attack additional range, but there's no point. It's not going to be enough. So that's really it for me. That's all I get to do is just kind of sit there and do nothing because you're not within range. So what about you?
I have a before activating effect that says discard any number of vengeance tokens to pull the opponent 1 space per token discarded. So I have 3 vengeance tokens in my pool. I'm going to discard all 3 of these to pull you 3 spaces closer.
I suspected you were going to do this. Yeah, because now I'm within range, right?
That's right. Yeah, you're within the 2 to 3 range that I have to hit you here, and that's going to deal 3 damage to you.
Okay, so I'm just going to take that 3 damage right now. There's nothing I can do about that. But because I anticipated that Matt was going to do that, I played the strike so I'd have the stun guard of 5 because I didn't want to lose all of my concentration counters, even though I keep forgetting to give them to myself. Now that I've got them, I don't want to lose them. So I think it's time for us to recycle here, right? Well, actually, I could do an end of beat effect here. I could spend a concentration counter to move one space. I don't think I'm going to do that. So we'll just recycle these. And I'm not going to forget this time. I'm going to give myself that concentration counter right now. And now it's time for us to pick a new attack pair, and I'll advance the timer. We're down to beat 10. Well, this was a little different, Matt, because I feel like we were pretty quick, both of us, in picking our attack pairs. I don't know if that means we both really know what we're doing, or we're just kind of floundering at this point. What do you think?
I think you're probably right with the latter.
Okay, well, look, before we reveal our attack pairs, normally I would ask you if there's any tokens you're going to ante, but you don't have any, so I'm just going to reveal my pair. It's Nullifying Burst. What about you?
Okay, I've revealed Vengeful Drive.
Vengeful Drive. Well, this is interesting because I think for once, you've got the priority.
I certainly do. So we'll start out with any start of beat effects. I don't have any.
Okay.
So it looks like you do.
I do, and I think I'm probably going to want to use these. It looks like during your activation, you're going to be able to advance quite a bit. So I need to clear out of here. I am going to retreat. I'm going to retreat the full 3 spaces I can go.
Okay.
There, I'm out of there. Back to you.
All right, so before activating, I can advance 1 space from my Vengeful card, and then can advance 1 or 2 from Drive. But I'm looking at your card here. I think you're pretty much going to hit me either way, so I'm just going to move the full 2 spaces with Drive instead of 1.
Okay. Well, I guess that's going to put you a little closer to me for your future attacks, right?
That's the plan.
Okay. Well, it looks like you're out of range here, right? So there's not actually going to be anything you get to do on your attack, right?
That's it for me.
Okay, well, super. I get to have my attack then. My range here is a combined 3 to 4. So thankfully, you're within the 3. So I get to hit you for, 3, it looks like. A total of 3 damage.
That's right.
So I'm going to take that 3 damage off of you now. That's got you down to 11, right?
I'm down to 11, but
Okay.
thankfully I get something out of it. I get 3 Vengeance tokens.
That's a very good point. And I do have an on-hit effect. Let me just see what this says here. Now, I could spend concentration counters to reduce your power, but I guess I don't really need to do that for this turn, so I'll ignore those. And I think we can just recycle here, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I will do that. And I'm going to advance the timer. We are down. Let's see. It's beat 9. Well, I don't know, Matt. Maybe this is a good spot for us to stop here and turn things over to the viewers. Let them have a shot at helping one of us out here. Matt, I kind of feel like they need to help me. Not because I'm suffering so poorly or anything, but I think if they're providing suggestions, I'm going to get email notifications about those and see them. So if they're helping you out, I'm not going to be able to help but see what that advice is going to be. This way, as long as you stay away from the video, it'll be a secret. It will remain a secret for you. What do you think about that?
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay, well, excellent. So guys, what I want to do here is I'm going to show you the cards I have in my hand. And then you guys can propose what you think I should do for my turn. Now, you want to keep in mind what Matt has as well. So I'm going to show you those cards, and then hopefully we can come up with a really cool plan here to foil whatever he's playing and also maybe do a little more damage to him. Put your suggestions in the comments below. If you like what someone says, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like it, well, no problem. Propose your own suggestion. Maybe someone will vote for that. Whichever one gets the most votes, that's what we'll come back and do. Matt, I want to thank you again for joining me, and I want to remind everyone, you have a YouTube channel as well. Why don't you tell people what it's called and what it's about?
Yeah, thanks, Rodney. It's called Board Game Replay, and it's a series where we sort of try to capture the experience of board gaming in maybe like a 15-minute to a half-hour show where we talk about games and cut back to like instant replays, basically, of fun things that happen during the game. So.
Absolutely. I'll put a link in the description of this video to that channel if you guys want to check it out. But until the next episode, thanks for watching.